Now that there's no Sunday break at the conference tournament, do you feel like that gives you guys an advantage over the team that you play Monday, because they'll have to be playing back-to-back days? You guys might have more time to scout the team that you're playing on Monday.
For sure. I think it would definitely give us a little bit more time and advantage on our end, just because we are getting as many practice reps as we can in before we head off there. So, yeah, I think it is beneficial.
Some mentality as you guys go down there. Obviously, I know you guys would want to cut down the nets and haven't been able to the last couple of years. So, what's kind of the focus as you head down to Vegas?
Honestly, just keep playing the way we're playing. We've been playing with a lot of force, a lot of energy lately, and honestly, if we just keep that up, going into every game and just taking one game at a time, I think we'll be right where we need to be.
Is it difficult at all with this break that you guys have had to know that you're going to keep that focus, or did having so many games in such a tight window at the end of the year help?
I don't think so. I think honestly we needed this little break, honestly, for our bodies to rejuvenate, for us to get, for us to get back into shape and everything. So I think it is definitely. I lost my train of thought, but definitely.
You talked about playing with more force the last handful of games. Where do you see that most in games on the court? Where does that force kind of come out the most, in your opinion?
That was for me.
Yeah. Nolan was talking about you guys have played with more force recently. Where do you see that come out in games? Both sides of the ball, or one side more than the other?
I don't know. I think we're just locked in on these scatter reports and locked in on our prep in terms of what we need to do to get the wins, and I think that just allows you to play with that force. If you know what you're doing on both sides of the floor, you could be a little more attentive to what we're doing and play with that force for sure.
Anything change as a senior, knowing the finish line is coming up compared to previous years, and kind of the urgency you're feeling going into this?
I wouldn't say not so much of a difference, but definitely I'm cherishing, these practices and cherishing these games that we're going into more. Just knowing that this is coming to an end soon, so just cherishing it with my guys, the coach staff, with the crowd, the fans, and everything. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Just taking it all in, but nothing really changes from a standpoint of what we got to do to get these wins. Obviously.
One for either of y'all. I mean, is there any kind of different mental preparation to know that in this, tournament expectation of you don't know exactly what team you're going to be going up against, and you have a list of different positions, different kind of skills that you could go up and try to face?
Honestly, I would just say knowing that we got different positions that we're gonna have to go against and different people that we're gonna have to go against. I think honestly just preparing and getting our mental focus on getting these wins and getting stops on the defensive end. I think just knowing that as a whole and going into each game knowing that, I think it'll be beneficial than just preparing for one team or the specific team.
Does it feel like you guys have something to prove headed down?
For sure. We haven't beat St. Mary's this whole year, so I feel like there's definitely something to prove.
Ryan, if kind of the chalk holds in the tournament, you guys would play USF again on Monday. They've kind of guarded you guys a few different ways throughout the years. How do you think they would kind of come out in a third matchup after trying to let Ben shoot threes and Mike, and that obviously didn't work out so well for him last time?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure. I could definitely see them switching it up though. Maybe some zone, maybe something else that will try and play with our brains a little bit. I'm sure they'll have some type of different plan. They tend to usually do that a lot. So
I have to.
So I mean, I'm sure they'll do something a little bit different. But I think that's what this week is for. I think it's a good time for us to focus on us and get better as a team. And regardless of who we play, I think we'll be pretty sharp because we've had a whole week to prepare and work on ourselves and work on some things that we might not have been working on since we've just been having 2-day press for all these games. So I think it'll be good for us.
You're not an awards guy, records guy per se. Did the Kuzi finalists, any reaction to that?
It is what it is, honestly. I don't vote on that, so it is what it is. I'm trying to win games with the guys, and that's my ultimate goal. I didn't come here to win no individual awards. I came here to win games and go far in the tournament. So that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Nolan, what about you? Weigh in. How does he not be a Kuzi top 5 guy?
What you say?
Weigh in on that. Like, what did you think when you saw that he got snubbed from the?
Oh,
Kuzi
it's
Awards?
crazy. You know, it's crazy. It's outlandish. But you know, that's how it is. You know, sometimes it's just how basketball goes, man. You get snubbed for certain things, but you know, his mindset about everything is what's really impressive. You know, just not even caring about certain things and not caring about his individual self. That just goes to show what he is as a player, as a dude. So, you know, all props to my guy for sure.
Nolan, you're shooting a career high percentage from three, 44% right now. What's gone into that this year? And coming into the season, did you have a target in mind, like this would be an ideal percentage for me to finish the season with?
Jinch, man, he always been saying 50, 40, 90. You know, 50, 40, 90, that's been my goal this whole entire time. You know, just trying to go out there and just be as efficient as I can. You know, and the rim's been wide open for me these past few games, so I just been real confident in my shooting. And, you know, when I see one go in, that just is a good sign for me to just keep shooting. And I believe every shot's been going every time I shoot it, so.
You're pretty close to that, it looks like. 40. I think you're 48 from the field, and then so still have a chance to get there before the season's over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Close.
How important does the 3 become in the postseason? Because if you look at Gonzaga's elimination games in the tournament, I think going back to 18,
Yeah.
it's been a kind of a turner. What do you make of that, and how important is it?
No, it definitely is important. You know, it's real important.
Let's talk a little bit, bro.
No, it is important. You know, down the stretch when you get to big games and everything, you gotta step up and make big shots, and that's something that I really want to take pride in this year, knowing that I'm a senior and I'm gonna be the one people who's looking towards, looking to knock down the big shots. So just knowing that and going into every game with that mindset, I think is the best approach.
Ryan, your assist numbers have obviously been unbelievable this season, but especially in these last couple games have been unreal. I think it's 31 last 2 games. What can you do over this tournament to keep that up and keep your distribution that good?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of the 2 teams we play. You know, they kind of like to get up and down and play faster styles of play, and they do certain things within their coverages that I felt like allowed me to get my guys involved and get some easy looks for them, and as well as just having these guys that knock down a lot of their shots. You know, we got a lot of guys that make shots, a lot of guys that can make plays, and I just get to do the rest. So I don't know. I'm just going to the game, and whatever they give me, I'm gonna take. So.
Can either of you speak to the guards on the team? I know both of you are obviously pivotal parts on the roster, but the other guards that have grown into their role and just have stepped up, and the value you guys seen from them, not only on the court, but their growth in practices and off the court.
Yeah, it's been huge, man. Especially with E, man. He's a great contributor to this team this year, and what he's been able to do on the defensive end has been really big for us. Just to spark off the bench is what's needed, and for the rest of the guys, yeah, they've been putting in the time, putting in the work and the practices, and all props to them. They've been doing the work what's needed. So.
For sure, yeah. I think they just also have a great mentality just to stay ready. You know, like our rotation is pretty big at this point. Sometimes we play 10 guys, sometimes we could go 11 deep. You know, it's a huge rotation. Sometimes you might not get those minutes, so. For those guys to be ready when their number's called and come in and make plays when it's that time is big time, and it's especially for guys that are only in their second year of college and are still young, so it's huge.
Ryan, what have you made of Nolan's efficiency this season, and can you appreciate how much work goes into even getting close to a 50, 40, 90 kind of season?
Absolutely. He's been big time all year. I think it's just his preparation, his mental, just the way he goes about the game, the way he comes in every day and leads the guys and is worried about the team first before himself is huge, and I'm super happy for him to have a year like this. First team all coverage guy, shooting the shit out of the ball, just playing good hoops. So I think it's huge for him. I'm super happy for him. He's a big part of our team on both ends of the floor, especially. I think defensively he gets overlooked a little bit, just guarding the top guard every single night for us, and it's huge for our squad.
Graham, maybe some thoughts too on Nolan's year shooting the ball. He's at 44 from the 3, and
He's been consistent all year, and I'm definitely happy for him on that end. And like Ryan says, he's a huge part of our team, not only offensively but defensively. He even sets the tone before practice in our links, things like that, just getting us mentally ready. for the day. So, just happy for him and just happy that he's doing what he's doing right now.
We got about 5 more minutes. Any more questions for Graham here?
Graham, you guys have played in so many tight games this year. I know a lot of them didn't go the way you wanted to, but now that it seems like we're to the point in the season where it's like every game is close, how much is that experience going to help you guys out?
Oh, I think it's going to help us tremendously. Even though we haven't been able to close them out earlier in the season, I think we're about ready to close them out now. We've just been preparing every day for it with certain things like zag time, certain situational things, and then I think our experience not only from this year but just throughout our whole careers will help us.
You say zag time?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's just zag time. If you know.
Clutch time, kind of down the stretch situations? Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Ryan, you had a pass against San Francisco in the first half. It looked like it went through a bunch of arms and bodies and got to the target. This may not be easy to answer, but you have a favorite assist this year? Is there something that you just went,
Yeah.
that one worked?
I think the one with LMU to open the game at home to Benny. I didn't even think it was going to get through. But
To who?
to Benny, it's like the first play of the game. I just threw. I didn't even think it was going to get through, but we got there, so that's probably the one that was tough.
You got a favorite from him? You've been on the receiving end of a few.
I'd probably say my favorite might have been at St. Mary's last year, the behind the back. That was pretty crazy. It's been some crazy ones this year.
I say all the ones that's been alley oops to KB or something, bro.
But they just come on just like that.
Throwing them joints so high, bro. Anyways, you got a lot. Yeah.
Graham, we talked to Ryan after the USF game, and he kind of said, he hasn't accomplished anything yet, despite all the individual records and accolades. Winning a conference championship would mean something. You're kind of in the same position with the individual accolades, but haven't won the conference yet. How big of a goal is that for you, too?
It's a huge goal. It's something that he and I actually talked about before. Just win the whole thing as a team, as a collective. That's really what matters. We play a team sport. It's not an individual sport. Individual accolades are cool, but it really comes from winning. And that's what we're looking forward to. That's what my mindset is on. I know the guys are there as well. So that's the focus right now.
We have time for one more.
Graham, what's at least how you're going through your preparation for looking at a team that you don't know who you're going to play yet, and you have a lot of hard teams ahead of you, even if you end up winning that and keep going through this tournament?
Film work, especially leading up to in the conference tournament, just watching some of the previous games to where we played, like Washington State, USF, seeing how they played against each other, how their teams have played against St. Mary's, just trying to shore up a couple small tweaks, because ultimately that's probably what it's going to come to, 1 or 2 possessions in these kind of games at this kind of year, or this time of the year. And just really just trying to stay mentally locked in on every single possession, not just in the game, but in practice, because we get more practice reps than we do game reps.